Now a break in the case of a double in Miramar.
2 people now behind bars, including a South Florida rapper.
That's right, and take a look here. Just moments ago, we obtained this rapper's mugshot from the Broward County Jail. Local 10 news cameras were rolling back in October outside the Miramar Memorial Hospital emergency room. Detectives say the 2 arrived here in this 2018 Jeep, the back windshield appearing to be...
The upcoming YNW Melly retrial has been pushed back once again, this time all the way to 2027, following reports that co-defendant YNW Bortlen may be cooperating with prosecutors. The delay was confirmed after a hearing on Friday, August 8th, when the 4th District Court of Appeal granted a stay in the case. This gives the state attorney's office more time to review a motion they filed, meaning the trial will no longer begin in September. Instead, it is now scheduled for January 2027. Sources claim the lengthy delay is tied to an ongoing deal being worked out with Bortlen, which prosecutors expect to finalize over the next year. Adding to the tension, a strict no communication order has been issued, preventing Melly and Bortlen from speaking to each other, directly or through their attorneys. This move is seen as a way to pressure Bortlen into testifying against Melly when both are tried together in the next court proceedings.
Here, and you can try them together. It is to the benefit of the state to try them together. It's just more efficient. You don't have to do things again and again. Do it all at once, and also you get a better chance of having them incriminate each other during the trial. It benefits the defense to sever it. That way they can point the finger at each other and get away with it. So this is what's going on. But I don't think it should be automatically severed because the state is seeking a penalty for Melly, because it's only the penalty phase of the trial that would be different, not the guilt phase. The guilt phase is the same. They're both capital crimes. You're seeking the penalty on one, not the other, but that goes into the second part of the trial, the penalty phase, only if Melly is found guilty.
With YNW Bortlen potentially cooperating, prosecutors could have a major advantage in the next trial. His testimony could validate key pieces of evidence against Melly, making a conviction far more likely. This was solidified when the judge confirmed that Melly and Bortlen will be tried together in the upcoming proceedings.
Mr. Henry is going to remain set for trial September the 10th at 9 o'clock with Mr. Demmons, pending whatever future motion that I may hear. I'm in another capital case right now. I have 4 hearing dates left available between now and September the 10th. I gave the parties those 4 dates, and I'm holding all of those dates and times open only for these 2 defendants. So anything that you need me for, okay? Yes, sir.
At the start of Wednesday's hearing, Judge Martin Fine addressed YNW Bortlen's attorney saying, "So, Mr. Haddad, for the time being, Mr. Henry will remain set for trial with YNW Melly," confirming that both defendants will indeed be tried together, just at a later date. If Bortlen maintains that he had no part in the crime, it's unlikely he'll be willing to face life in prison simply out of loyalty to Melly, especially given their history. This increases the chances he could turn on Melly, just as Melly tried to implicate him during the first trial. What many don't know is that Melly and Bortlen haven't spoken in years. Their friendship ended after Melly's legal team attempted to shift blame onto Bortlen in that first trial, leaving the two completely estranged.
Those were his lies. Courtroom Henry shows up at Memorial Hospital, Miramar. You don't see him sitting there, but where you will see him sitting is in the driver's seat of a car with 2 bodies, a car riddled with bullets. And when he shows up with a change of clothing, change of shirt, powder residue on his hands, evidencing that he had discharged a firearm. And he lies. He lies about where the incident occurred. He lies about how it occurred. And he lies about not having a phone. I think it was Miss Bradley herself who said, everybody has a phone in his pocket, not Courtroom Henry.
It was actually YNW Melly's own lawyer who argued that YNW Bortlen had been lying to federal investigators. In court, the defense pointed out that Bortlen tested positive for gunpowder residue on his hands and was the last person seen with Juvie and Sachezo before their deaths. They even brought in a forensic scientist who examined the killings to provide detailed testimony, suggesting that Bortlen was the one truly responsible.
So the right hand of Cortland Henry contained 0 particles characteristic of residue and two component particles, and the left hand contained one particle characteristic of residue and one 2-component particle.
Okay. And can you explain to us what that means?
Basically, overall, there was residue present on the hands.
It was around this moment, when Melly's mistrial was declared, that YNW Bortlen appeared to officially cut ties with him. On the very same day, reports surfaced that Bortlen posted a cryptic tweet reading, "Mind games don't work on people like me," followed by a handshake emoji, almost as if signaling he was ready to make a deal. What makes this even more concerning for Melly is that prosecutors have compelling reasons to believe Bortlen could now testify against him, especially given the evidence reportedly discovered inside Bortlen's home.
Melly's co-defendant YNW Bortlen was booked into a Miami jail Monday night and is being held behind bars on an out-of-county warrant. We just confirmed the warrant is out of Broward County for witness tampering. The warrant obtained by Law and Crime Network states as follows. On or about April 10, 2023, continuing through and including July 22, 2023, Cortland Henry, aka Bortlen, along with others, did unlawfully and knowingly engage in misleading conduct toward another person with the intent to cause or induce them to withhold testimony. The warrant continues the alleged witness had been summoned by the legal process to the jury trial of Jamel Dimmons, aka YNW Melly. The dates in the warrant are important. Jury selection for Melly started in mid-April, and a judge declared a mistrial on July 22nd, the same day the warrant claims Bortlen allegedly tampered with the witness.
According to reports, during the raid of YNW Bortlen's home, investigators discovered alleged handwritten notes that raised serious concerns. Among them were sketches mapping out where specific jurors sat during Melly's trial, complete with descriptions of their appearances. Notably, these drawings were made before Melly's lawyers shifted blame onto Bortlen in court. This has fueled speculation that Bortlen might have been preparing to retaliate against the jurors if they returned a guilty verdict against his best friend.
To keep it real, this is sloppy. Bortlen, how the f you gonna have the notebook of the jurors in your house? Holy sh! Like, come the f on! It's like doing a and having the surveillance tape in your DVD player or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro! Like they raid your crib and the surveillance footage of the is in your DVD player. They be like, oh, okay, thank you, brother. This can't be at your crib.
But here's where things get even more troubling for Melly. YNW Bortlen could potentially confirm the new evidence prosecutors plan to use against him, and there's one piece they're especially focused on, a Facebook photo of Melly with Young Thug. Prosecutors are using this image to suggest that Melly is affiliated with the Red Street Gang, the same group they claim Young Thug is part of.
Same thing, the use of the slap term, 5-point star, snake. He's saying he's YSL, he's hanging with him. And he puts up his YNW for life hashtag on it with Mr. Demons has the big B hand signs displayed.
Right, and see with individuals again, I'm assuming that's also Young Thug. That's also unknown.
Yes.
Also important to your investigation, correct?
Yes.
Also publicly available for anyone to see and capture.
In court, Melly even urged his lawyers to allow the evidence to be used, reportedly because he knows Bortlen will validate it regardless, believing Bortlen has already made a deal, according to reports. Today's hearing marked the first time Melly openly defied his legal team's advice in court. He was seen raising his voice at his attorneys, insisting they understand that the evidence will be confirmed one way or another.
Against our advice, our client must proceed.
You objected to it. Your request we need to determine this automatic stay.
Based upon what our client has instructed us, yes.
People inside the courtroom overheard Melly saying, "I don't care. I'm not in no gang. They can't prove it."
Aware that 924-071 call for an automatic stay while
they were aggravators. They go to membership in a gang. There are things that the jury would have to find before going into penalty.
Not aggravator, that's the death penalty. Aggravator, that's the enhancement itself, Your Honor. That was charged. He was charged in committing the murder for the further conviction, which is an aggravator in terms of the guilt.
Something that they would have to find by way of an interrogatory.
Yes.
Prosecutors also plan to introduce new testimony from a former O Block member who has allegedly implicated YNW Melly sharing a secret that came from King Von himself. Before Von's death, and prior to Melly's arrest, the two were close friends. According to this witness, King Von revealed that Melly had once asked him for advice on how to deal with people, implying how to make them disappear.
Did Von really tell you that Melly told him that he was two friends?
He ain't come out and say, like, we got into an argument. And so, you know, if you know, when people could say something without saying it. And so he told me, like, once I posted what I posted, Von was mad at me. Bro, why you put up there, bro? Walter Bam. I'm like, you sitting up here, like, you know the love we got. You do this for us, but you gonna trust that his two friends? And he said, them was trying to extort him. And so I'm like, if they was trying to extort him, then why are you still around?
Prosecutors are expected to present testimony from a former O-Block member who claims to have incriminating information about YNW Melly, allegedly passed down from King Von himself. Before Von's death and before Melly's arrest, the two were reportedly close friends. The witness says King Von confided that Melly had once sought his advice on how to deal with people, suggesting he meant making them disappear.
Mariah Hamilton is spending her first day at the Broward County Jail. She has no arrest record until now. U.S. Border Patrol agents arrested her at Miami International Airport Monday after she arrived on an international flight. Court records show Hamilton was ordered to testify in Demon's first trial in 2023.
Mariah Hamilton was immediately taken into custody upon returning to the United States, and her time in jail was far from pleasant. At her first court appearance, the judge offered her a deal. If you agree to testify against Melly and tell the truth about everything, you're free to go. She accepted on the spot, a major blow for Melly. Shortly after, she posted on Facebook, "To my village, thank you. I love you all so much. God's plan, not mine." Her role now is straightforward. She must confirm the disturbing evidence found in her iCloud account, which allegedly shows Melly pressuring her not to testify, an act considered witness tampering. If she verifies this in court, Melly could face a life sentence.
State filing 6 new charges against Demons and 2 others who were allegedly involved. The charges include tampering with a witness, directing the activities of a criminal, solicitation or conspiracy to commit tampering, and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. Now, a couple of those charges actually carry a life in prison sentence if there's a conviction.
The witness tampering charge is separate from Melly's ongoing case involving the deaths of Juvie and Sakcheza. It's possible that Melly could be acquitted in the murder trial, but if Mariah confirms the text messages showing him pressuring her not to testify, he could still end up serving a life sentence.
Are now charged with witness tampering. There was this kind of crazy way that Melly was communicating. He wasn't allowed to use the phone, but he was passing notes to people, and then this person's calling this person and then that person.
Saying like to me, they going through extreme measures, trying to cover up or convince people not to testify, like Mariah mom. They was using code words like Rihanna and A$AP Rocky's baby mom.
Because of Melly's alleged witness tampering through jail phone calls, he's been banned from using a phone for over a year. The situation became so extreme that his mother, Jamie King, gave an interview calling out the county jail for not only denying him phone access, but also preventing him from even seeing his own mail.
My son has not been convicted of anything, and even other inmates that have been convicted or anything, they have the right to use a telephone. They have a right to just to be allowed to write letters to their loved ones, to receive their mail. They hold his mail, they don't give it to him.
If the allegations are true, that Melly used the jail phone to commit witness tampering, then it explains why he's been barred from using it. Authorities almost certainly have the evidence stored, as they wouldn't keep him off the phones without proof. Otherwise, it could trigger a massive multi-million-dollar lawsuit. Because of all this, Jamie King has expressed that she's absolutely heartbroken for her son, saying she feels helpless and believes he's not even being treated like a human being.
When you saw Melly's statement, just saying how he's been hurt, how he's scared for his life, as a mother, how did that make you feel?
It's heartbreaking. It made me feel completely helpless. Broward Sheriff's Office definitely needs to be investigated. I mean, they they are making up their own rules. We've tried to go to court about this situation. The judge really doesn't have any jurisdiction when it comes to the jail, because we actually had a hearing about the mistreatment of him, and the jail they make their own rules. And I don't think that's fair, because I know that they need to answer to someone too.
The situation quickly drew significant media attention, particularly from figures in the rap industry. Charleston White weighed in, saying this is exactly how YNW Melly should be living, arguing he doesn't deserve special treatment just because he's a rapper, especially if he really used jail phones to commit witness tampering.
The YNW Melly, I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated. Yeah, I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated, homie. Homie, when you take a life, homie, you ain't got a right to complain about a motherfucking thing about being mistreated when you done chose to play somebody.
The case also caught the attention of rap veteran Boozy, who spoke out about the emotional toll on Jamie King, noting that his own mother went through a similar ordeal.
Okay, so then I met his mama while he was in. Oh, okay. I met his mom while he was in, and she real, bro. You know, she real.
She's stressed out. I heard she had a.
Yeah, she real, and I reached my hand out to him, cause I'm real. Yeah, I reached out to him, bro. I met his mom, and she a good woman, bro. And when I see them mamas like that, it remind me of what my mom was going through, bro.
However, Melly recently scored a significant win in court, one that could potentially lead to him getting a release date. To understand when he might be granted bond, it's key to know that an FBI agent specializing in cell phone data analysis took the stand. According to reports, Melly's lawyers questioned this agent about their analysis of Melly's phone data from the time of the alleged crime.
Based on the information, you can't really tell the court precisely which locations these phones are following, can you?
No, one of the limitations of cellular analysis is that you can only say a general area where the device would be at a given time.
All right. So even with the general analysis, all of the stuff that we've gone through for about 4 or 5 hours, at the end of the day, you can never give an exact location.
True.
And could you tell if somebody was walking around a car with the phone? Would you be able to tell that?
No.
So it'd be your testimony that this phone, 9807, could be from here to here, correct?
Yes.
While the FBI agent's testimony was significant, the real breakthrough for Melly came next. A DNA specialist took the stand to review forensic analysis on several items collected from the crime scene, including evidence from inside the Jeep involved. The DNA analyst testified that Melly's DNA was not found on multiple items recovered from the scene, a major win for the defense.
So going to item number 22, the swab from the Gucci sandals. We're able to compare the profile from Mr. Demons as opposed to the profile developed from those sandals.
I did, and he was excluded.
The stain on the front of the t-shirt, item number 23. We're able to compare Mr. Demons' profile to that.
I did a comparison, and he was again excluded.
What about item number 24, the cutting of the stain of the rear of the t-shirt?
After comparisons were done, he was excluded.
Okay, then on item number 25, the swab of stain from the Air Jordans.
Again, an exclusion.
Going on to item number 26, the swab from the yellow jacket.
An exclusion as well.
And in terms of the item number 27 and 28, the swabs at the Gatorade bottles. What were the results on that?
Those were both exclusions.
However, Melly's DNA was found on the car's door handle, which isn't surprising since he was seen getting into the driver's side of the Jeep. What remains unclear is why rapper Fredo Bang picked him up afterward. Federal authorities claim they have evidence showing Fredo Bang picked up Melly right after the crime occurred and then dropped him off at a nearby house.
And Chris Thomas are... So what you're also going to find out is while Mr. Demons is out there on the side of the road, 4 in the morning, 4:42 specifically, he sends a drop pin, digital homing beacon, to his current location to one of his friends, Frederick Givens. Frederick Givens is also involved in the music industry, and he asked to be picked up. Frederick Givens, then about 11 minutes later, is sent another drop pin where Mr. Demons has moved a couple of meters. What you're going to find out as well, though, is these digital leashes, they have more than just phone call.
This is where things take a serious turn for Melly. Bortlen could not only explain why Fredo Bang picked him up, but also provide context for what happened 5 hours after the crime, when Melly allegedly sent a text message saying, "I did that."
The PC Gambino account asked him if he was okay, and his response was, "I did that," and placed a smiley face emoji.
And the next message from 10/26/2018 at 16:02 from Eastern Standard Time, the YNW Melly account says what?
After that, SHHHH.
Bortlen could also reveal the reason behind prosecutors' updated evidence against Melly. Unbeknownst to Melly, he was reportedly caught on video admitting to the killings of Juvie and Sack Chaser. Just hours after the crime, footage allegedly shows Melly dancing in a parking lot alongside Bortlen.
Melly still turned regardless of what happened this early morning. He's still out here being very positive. Turned still. Hey! The dog still turned, regardless of what happened. You already know.
Showing no apparent remorse for the deaths of their two close friends, the footage raises a pressing question. Do you believe YNW Melly committed this crime? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to leave a like if you're a fan of his music.